Oh my goodness. The pre-screen is insane, or the green screen, as famous people say. Hello, good afternoon, all you beautiful people out there. We are excited. It is episode 50 of the Collectin and Connectin podcast. We got some insanely, clap, snap your fingers, whatever the movement is these days with all the young kids. We got some great people today. We have some team captains and a mayor. Let's start with royalty first. Mayor Creedicus, how you doing out there?
Good, baby. I'm good. Glad to be here.
Dogs are barking, birds are chirping.
That's right, baby. That's right.
Your team's doing well. We'll move on. That's all we need to say about that. Coultin, how you doing out there, buddy? Mr. Captain, sir.
I'm feeling great. Vibes are great. The weather's beautiful. NBA Finals is here. Let's go. It is.
The beard's looking gorgeous, as always.
As is yours. Thank you.
I don't even know what else to say about it. I am KingBrett. I am here. I'm just trying to make people laugh and introduce the next guest who, when he starts out, he might start out a little soft, but he's going to come in strong. Just like his favorite team. We have Sir Captain of the Wolves Den, Delarosby. How you doing, sir?
Welcome. Hey, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, DeLa.
Absolutely.
If the Wolves didn't win last night, I would have no-showed for sure.
Honestly, I would have expected nothing less. I wouldn't have.
No chance I was going to take that.
In case you're not watching, you're listening, he does have a plethora of Wolves jerseys and Wolves paraphernalia behind him. He's a diehard Wolves captain. Anyways, we're just pumped to have you on. Excited.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Sir Mayor Treat, you look like you're pin up with a raging question or something to say.
Yeah, I'm very... for Celtic fans, right, we're sitting here waiting on one of you two to finish and prepare to lose in the finals. But you got a lot of good storylines, right? So as a Celtics fan, I got some feelings for the Wolves because Garnett, right? I mean, there's some love for the Wolves because of KG, but also you got the Kyrie thing in Dallas. I'm torn between these two squads. Who do we want to face? There's a part of me that says, the Wolves are a little bit scary because of that young buck with a lot of drive. I mean, he's
isn't he like 22? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
He's scary. Like he really is scary. He is
scary.
But then I go, Luka is a generational talent. So it's like pick your poison out in the West.
Don't worry about Luka. He's a crybaby. The Mavs aren't even good.
So make your argument for why your team is fit. It's like, are we Seinfeld people? Are we Seinfeld people?
I am.
Remember the Elaine Bennis? Are you sponge worthy? Remember that episode?
Yeah. I need to pull that up.
Give me your argument for why your team should be allowed to play my team in the finals. We'll start with you, our Wolves captain, Captain Delarosby.
Well, I think. The first two rounds. The West to me was the more difficult road. Anything could happen there.
Yeah, I agree.
I think a lot of folks had the Celtics kind of pegged to be the Eastern Conference champions, but it's kind of been open in the wild West. Nobody was prepared for the Wolves to sweep the Suns. I think that's when the league wide was finally put on notice and finally getting an opportunity to see how talented Anthony Edwards is.
Right.
We're a team that's built, by Tim Conley, who built the Nuggets championship team that we saw last year. And this Timberwolves team was built specifically to go up against that Nuggets team, because they were the ones to knock down anything. It was going to go through Denver one way or the other. And to a similar note, I think the Mavs were also building to beat Denver. It just so happens that what works well against, or what would have worked well against Denver, is working well for the Mavs right now.
Yeah. That's good. And you got, I got, and then the Grizzlies, right? Grizzlies my second favorite team. You got Mike Conley, you got Slow-Mo. It feels like there's just a lot of good chemistry there. And, was it last year? No, it wasn't last year. Year before. When was the Grizzlies Timberwolves had a great playoff series that was just going at each other.
Yeah, it was the 2 years ago or whatever.
2 years ago. Yeah, and that's when I started seeing that especially from Anthony Edwards, just a dog, man. This dude is going to come at you and never stop.
Yeah, Ja Morant without the baggage, man.
Yeah, and a better jump shot. Sorry, Coultin.
Better jumper, bigger.
Yeah.
Dude, as a diehard Mavs fan, I do have to say I appreciate basketball in general. And one guy I do not like to see talk a lot on behalf of the Minnesota Timberwolves is Mike Conley. That dude fires people up. He's a veteran. He's smart. He pushes the ball a lot of the right directions. I don't know how you feel about him, but between him and Edwards, and I mean, dude, the talent, just in talent in basketball in general, is just so insane. It's like every team has 2 or 3 guys that are just studs. And it's like any team at any point could just blow up and no one's going to stop them,
Yeah.
I think the last 2, I don't know how many. I believe Mike Conley has 2 Teammate of the Year awards.
Wow. Really? I didn't even know,
I know he got one when he was with the Jazz, and I'm pretty sure, didn't he just get one this year?
Yep, he won it.
Not one. There's only one given. As soon as the Jazz traded him to Minnesota, the Jazz just nosedived. Like, he is so underrated in everything he does.
Yeah, he was definitely the missing piece of the puzzle for our squad with how young they are, kind of homegrown aside from Cat. Being there the last 9 years, it's a lot of fresh faces and young people. And I mean, it was essentially the same starting lineup. You just swap out DeLa for Mike Conley, and that's where the recipe really came together. He can take his shot when he needs to, but he isn't looking forward. And that was our problem with DeLa, is he wanted to be that dude, in those crunch moments. And to Cat's benefit this year, he understood that make way for Anthony Edwards. The young guy's gotta get his, and the first 3 games he didn't show up in that supplemental role that he needed to be. I mean, it's a battle of duos between Luka and Kyrie versus Cat and Edwards, and both teams need both guys to show up.
I just thought about something. Sorry to bust in on you, KingBrett. So
okay, I love when you do.
Is there a comparison here between your Jazz with Conley and Gobert and a young Mitchell?
Edward. Ooh,
Donovan Mitchell. Yep.
And they made a run
16 times a day.
Oh, sorry.
The Jazz were one Mike Conley 3. The Jazz were one Mike Conley 3 away from beating Denver in Game 7, which would have put the Jazz in the Western Conference Finals in the bubble. So we love Mike Conley, and yes, we even had Nickeil Alexander-Walker on the roster.
Wow, so that's an interesting comparison. I hadn't thought of that Jazz team that made a nice run, and this Wolves team with Conley, Gobert, and a young stud looking to prove himself.
It's like all championship players make their way through the Jazz.
Yeah. The difference is the Wolves have perimeter defenders and the Jazz didn't. Edwards can defend much better than Donovan can. The Jazz's best perimeter defender was Royce O'Neal the Wolves have Naz Reid and McDaniels, who are both insanely good defenders. So in Utah, everybody is go Wolves.
Good. Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my
interesting.
That was my question.
Thanks for throwing daggers.
Did you guys have the same sort of love for Donovan Mitchell? Were you guys rooting for him out of the East? Is it or not to the same degree?
Not to the same degree, which would surprise people. But people in Utah, and I'm talking like young people, old people, love Rudy Gobert. And Donovan, people love Rudy Gobert because we drafted him. We saw him, he was just a little bean getting flicked around out there on the court. And then, he grew into an all NBA defensive player, 4-time DPOY. And we spent nearly a decade defending him to everyone, which is what Delarosby has to do now, where people poop on Rudy Gobert nonstop. But, dude, Rudy did so much for the community. Yeah. He would give thousands of dollars to everyone that worked in the arena and demand that no one told anybody, which I just did. But he doesn't want recognition for his generosity.
Sorry, Rudy. Call the corporate office. Talk to me. Coultin. We'll put it all. Give me a couple thousand. I won't tell anyone.
I won't tell.
and then Mike Conley. Everyone loves Mike. Even Mavs fans like Mike Conley. Like, how can you not love Mike?
It's true.
But so when you were talking about this beating the Nuggets, is that what the moves were, KingBrett, to bring in Washington and my guy, El Dorado, Arkansas native, my big guy?
Are you going to remember his name? Or are you just going to say a lot of big words about him?
Gaff? Sorry, forgot his name.
Oh, I knew. I was waiting for him to know.
So, talk to me about that big trade mid-season that puts you guys in such a sweet spot.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty easy for the Mavericks. We don't want to keep losing. So our options are trade and get people to help us win.
Yeah.
And I think it's something, there's a movie. I want to say, I always get it wrong. I always say it's Tropic Thunder, but it's not, because that's the crazy one. Semi-Pro, I think it's a basketball one. That's where they developed what they call the alley-oop. And I think the Dallas Mavericks have refound the alley-oop.
Yes,
and now it's something that basketball is excited about again.
Yep.
But you got to, there was a lot of doubt about this Kyrie Luka combination, and now all of a sudden everybody loves it.
For sure. But I think everyone can can visualize, like, you have a star on your team, and then you have a star who has off the court a checker pass, on the court an amazing pass, and you're like, how are these two superstars going to interact? And you're either you loved or hated Kyrie. He's one of those guys for most people. So most people in Dallas never liked Kyrie until he got to Dallas and started playing well and figuring out how to play with Luka. Because the first half season they played together, it wasn't great. They had some magical moments, but it was like one versus the other against the other team. And they're finally starting to kind of figure out how to play together. Kyrie starting to come alive the third and fourth quarter, which is huge. Luka, is trying to do better in the first and second quarters as well. But I think having the big guys on the court, being able to spread it out and having that threat of the guy down low to slam that ball in the basket gives them a little bit of separation and opens up the three, because all of our teams right now are living and dying at the three-point line. Like, no one's really driving it in, trying to get the fouls. It's like the last game. There was people with 4 or 5 fouls, and no one drove it to the basket. It's like, get them out of the game, drive it in, get the foul, get the two. You don't have to have a three every time, but we've become a three-point league over the last year or two more than ever, in my opinion. But I'll stop talking. I'd love to hear y'all's voices more.
I just have a question, and by the time this episode drops, this might be dated. So sorry for that. But Brett, are you aware when I'm watching the game last night with my kids, and I'm talking about game 4, I see Ant-Man driving to the hoop, getting accosted on his way to the rim.
Yeah.
Physically assaulted. I think he could probably press charges.
Probably.
And
it's at least
the
a
refs,
second base move.
The refs swallow their whistles. And then we go down to the other end, and my boy, Thick 77, that's what I call him. We're boys. Thick 77 gets like a forearm, just kind of touching him. Instant call. Do you see that?
So I know the correct answer. I know the non-correct answer, and I know probably the truth. The correct answer is technically yes, I see it. The non-correct answer is if your team cried more like our team cries more, because Luka's a crybaby, and I'll admit it, he is. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I'm a diehard Mavs, but he's a little crybaby. And by same person, I'll say you're my favorite player in the NBA, but you're a crybaby. But if we keep winning, keep crying. I don't care as long as we keep winning. But yeah, dude. I mean, and then the answer overall is, I think every team thinks the other teams are getting all the calls. Like the first couple games, I thought, Minnesota was getting all the calls. All across, like Minnesota watching their first round, second round. Dude, this has been some serious physical basketball again. Like people are on the floor. People are getting kicked in the peanuts. People are getting elbowed in the face. Like people are getting hit hard. And I like it. I like physical basketball for sure. I think there's more crap from both sides to the refs. Like I would not want to be a referee in the league right now because every team hates you. Like there's not – maybe the Celtics are the only ones that like the refs because they're in the finals and they're resting. They're slept in today or some crap.
Yeah.
But they're like other than Glenn, that, they're like Glenn in the C&C chat. Refs are like Glenn in the C&C chat.
What, a sleeper or never mind.
No,
but yeah, I mean,
love you, Glenn.
That's a great. We love you, great. We kid because we love. But here's a question for you, Colton. And I have a little bit of trouble because I'm jealous, right? I'm just jealous. You're one of the finest people in our whole community, but I'm really jealous of your ability to get courtside playoffs. Finals. Oh my God, that's bucket list shit right there. Who do you want to see, and who do you want to see when you're courtside, and how are you always courtside? Those are two questions.
Please answer them separately.
Okay, who do I want to see from courtside? It's an interesting question because I would prefer that the Wolves win because Rudy, Mike, Ant-Man,
right.
And my ESPN bracket that I've got money on has the Wolves and the Celtics in the finals.
Okay.
However, if as a fan of watching, like the moment is not like I'm aware of like the amazing, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like how special that moment's going to be. And watching Luka and Kyrie might be more of a incredible experience from like I don't know. Does that make sense? Like
what it makes complete sense.
Like the buckets that Luka gets, like as much as I hate his whining, he is on another planet right now.
Really
and Anthony is gonna get there.
Yeah.
But and Kyrie, my opinion has changed on him so much this year. I was telling Three Ball in a previous episode that I met Kyrie this year. My kids met Kyrie this year.
Wow.
Randomly, like at a hotel, totally random. But he was so kind to my kids. Took pictures. He was on the phone, put his phone down, took pictures with my kids. So kind to them. I was like, okay, I'm a Kyrie Irving fan now.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, cop-out answer, but both would be exciting. But I think watching Luka in person, plus I will talk shit to Luka. Where I wouldn't talk shit to anybody on the Wolves.
Yeah.
I talked shit to Harden last year. I'm going to talk some smack to Luka. And then awesome. How I get these seats, a good friend of mine, his family founded Burton Snowboards, and they've been huge Celtics fans.
Wow.
For ever, and they've had those seats in the family for over 25 years, and they're very generous, and so.
Wow.
So just in case
I
you
will
ever
make
need
the flight.
someone
Are
to
they
go with,
interested? Are they interested in any tax breaks in the city of Bryant, Arkansas? Not to say I would trade.
How's the snowboarding in Arkansas?
Yeah.
How does it need to be? How does it need?
On that note, I will just throw out there, I exclusively wear and ride Burton snowboards and gear. I have 3 Burton snowboards, 2 customs. I'm not joking.
Really?
I literally only ride Burtons. I have a LibTech that I absolutely love too, but I'm a Burton guy for sure. So props to them and their family. I do 20 days, 30 days on a mountain every single year.
Where?
All across the U.S. Yeah, so Canada, Jackson Hole, Big Sky, Colorado. I go with a group. We travel all the time. Utah.
Coming to Utah?
We follow the snow typically, and it depends the time of year. But Utah always gets good snow for sure.
Yes, it does. That's great to know.
So
that's really cool. That's a great answer, though. I totally get it. What, Roseby, will you get tickets to if the Wolves make it? How's this work? You captains get tickets. I know that.
So
I wish.
The way it's working out for us is I actually my Top Shot origin story is getting introduced to the product by a friend of mine who's actually a Dallas Mavericks fan. Said, hey, you like basketball, you should check this product out. Went online, started to find some people, randomly found we started our own Timberwolves Top Shot Discord before they had the captains or the team channels, and that still operates. Cool. That still operates today for some of the OGs. You have your little corners of the internet that you go to for like-minded people, and we just decided to meet before Vegas, a pre-Vegas scrimmage. They had kind of a dunks after dark thing for the Wolves. We decided a couple of these Top Shot collectors. We decided to meet each other. After a couple of beverages, we ended up getting season tickets together. We went in that night.
Oh, awesome!
And so 4 guys who didn't know each other at the beginning of the night got half season tickets together, and we've been rocking those together for the last couple of years.
That's cool.
From a captain's perspective, we early on decided, the most value for dollar you can get is that in stadium experience, and so we've used our funds, and because the dollar can stretch a lot further over country, we got season tickets the last 2 years, and we've got enough in the bank to do it again next year. So we've given away 82 lower level tickets over the last 2 seasons. So
lower bowls.
Yeah. So great
wow.
seats. So as it works out, we have Coach T and I, the other co-captain. He's part of the half-season package that we have together, so we have every other game of the playoffs with that one. But for the captain's tickets, we have the right to purchase them, and we're using our own funds for the benefit of sitting in those captain seats. So we haven't missed a game yet.
That's great, man. That's
super cool.
What a great story. That's I think that's always obviously part of what I love about it is all the people I've met just through collecting Top Shot. Like it's the most fun part of this experience is NBA fans getting to hang out and talk hoops. Love it.
Yeah, we're in the state of hockey here, so you'll have no trouble finding people to go to a Gopher game or a Wild game. But before everybody started jumping on the bandwagon, it was pretty sparse inside the stadium. So it was hard to find in real life friends who are interested in giving up an evening to go watch an unknown product. And now I have all the friends who didn't want to go 2 years ago are asking me if they can tag along to some of these games. So, but now I got my NBA Top Shot friends who I take in the games with and talk basketball, and it's fantastic.
I bet all those Minnesota Wild fans right now are definitely not rooting for the Wild right now. I bet they're rooting for Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, they're
no.
We're not used to any team playing right now but the Twins. So,
I know.
So this is, I mean, it's been 20 years since we were playing meaningful basketball at this time of year. So I mean, the town's pretty hyped for it. The downtown area is, they're painting murals on buildings. They're painting them the streets. They've had, some block parties before the games, and great atmosphere.
So do you have collectors going to Game 5?
What's that?
Do you have collectors going to Game 5?
No, I'll be going with Coach T to Game 5.
Gotcha.
Again, like we could, because the playoffs are not a part of your season ticket package.
Right.
You have and it goes up each round. And so we had a decision to make. Do we want season tickets for next year, or do we want to, send 8 different people to the playoffs, or do we want to give 40 different different people the opportunity? So
I totally made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Dude, it is such a hard decision because, like y'all, the Mavericks, we've had season tickets. We've sent collectors to every home game for I think this is our second year of every single home game. And this year, we've sent collectors to every single home game of the playoffs so far. And so, we saved our budget early on because we were confident and knew the Mavs would make the playoffs. And like you, I'm a big proponent of in real life events, going to games, sending a collector to a game. If a Top Shot person wins tickets and they go to a game, their experience and how they feel about Top Shot is totally different than if they go to an in real life event and just meet a couple people and root on their favorite team. It's still a great experience, but it's just magical going to a playoff game. But you're right, tickets get expensive every round. It's like, oh man, we got to close this out. I don't know. We only have so much in the budget. Like, we got to go to the finals games, hopefully, seeing what happens, and y'all same way. But I'm sitting here, I'm entering all the giveaways too. I'm hoping I win some tickets. I really want to go to a game. I'm like, man, this is exciting stuff. But it's just such a cool thing to even send people to playoff games, or regular season games. Like, it's so awesome.
And with all you captains here, I mean, I just think the captains program, what you guys do, is awesome. I mean, Grizz Gang, our crew, they do such a great job in Memphis. Just so kind for you guys to offer your time and your energy for that program. I think it's the glue, right? It's the glue of Top Shot. How do we feel about this? Is this something that you think Top Shot's going to continue? What's the captain's program look like in the future? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Coultin, it'd be great for you to go first.
I've talked to some people within Dapper that are all signs lead to it's going to be continuing. I've only been led to believe that to be the case, and I know that the captain's program. I know Rohan loves the captain's program. I think it's appreciated. I don't think that it's given the amount of money that it probably deserves, but I love it, and I do think it's going to be a staple.
Good. That's good to hear.
DeLa, what about you, man?
Yeah, no, I've contended since the beginning that the captain's program is absolutely the kind of the ethos of what the product kind of should be, which is getting people, collecting and connecting over a shared love of either the collecting aspect, the basketball aspect, and the third way is the money making aspect of it. We've seen booms in the different iterations of it. I mean, we're settling in to an environment where you have a lot of true collectors, true fans, who are the day in day out users of the product. I mean, the captain's program over these the little over 2 years of existence has gone through a lot of different changes about how much funds are available to us and all that, and the communities that are thriving were good stewards with their funds from the beginning. They didn't go out and find whatever star they could afford to come to a picnic for 12 people or something like that. It's where's the most value, and so we use the third party tools and everything to kind of keep our eyes on desirable Wolves moments. So we'll use some of our funds to snap some of those up when we're seeing they're at a good price. We've got some, we've got lots of packs and lots of moments locked and ready to roll, and we do something almost weekly just in terms of giveaways. So just try to keep people have something to look forward to.
That's awesome.
Within the team.
For sure.
What's you, King?
Yeah, man. I mean, I ditto what they both said. I think Top Shot would not be where it's at without the captain's program. I think it is a true buffer in a lot of ways between the collector and Top Shot corporate. I think that there's a lot of just positive, good things from the captains.
Yeah.
Like the whole goal, because every one of us are volunteers. Like, we're not getting paid. It's not like we get finals tickets and every round playoff tickets, and we're still entering drawings and we're still giving up the ability to do certain things just to try to make Top Shot a more fun environment, man. Like, we all love our teams, and that's what it's about, and that's what we try to do and convey. And look, we know we're not going to make everyone happy, and not every giveaway is going to be perfect, or someone's always going to complain about something. But if we just try to create a positive environment and we do what we can do within our control, because like the guys are right, we don't know what our budget will be. We don't know certain things. But what we do know is whatever we get, whatever we have, we're going to do the best we can with it. We're going to try to make it stretch, whether that's all in real life events or bringing in that one big player, or, kind of like the Wolves and the Mavs of not doing a ton of in real life and crazy stuff, because we're sending collectors to every darn game we can, but I think it's an amazing piece of Top Shot, and heaven forbid that program ever goes away. And I hope it only gets more love and support and funding and whatever else to help Top Shot grow. Because like I feel, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a team captain, because I felt this way before I was, but I think team captains are like the sixth man of the year award. Like, you never really get credit for anything, and when stuff goes wrong, it's always your fault. But yet, like, you're still out there, you're still hustling, you're still putting up fun things or giveaways or comments and trying to encourage people. And, it's one of those things that we're doing it because we love Top Shot and we want to give back and make it better. So I think if we all just keep trying to do that and Top Shot gives us a ton of money, it'd be great. No problem.
Show me the money.
Maybe
show the captains the money.
Something that like I'll add too is like S4 and then S5, we'll call it S5, have been slowly like better. Like there hasn't, I'm a Top Shot apologist. I love it. So turn your volume off if you're a hater, but like, they haven't done anything really, like they're a very customer facing company. Like everything they do is under a microscope, including the captain's program. And they could wait and polish stuff more on the back end and then release it later. But they, to their credit, I think the captain's program was like, this seems like a cool idea. Let's roll it out. Let's see what it does, how it works. Like that kind of stuff you can't figure out how that's going to be without just doing it. And so I'm optimistic because, you know, they've proven since S4 really, like, they're making good decisions. They just needed some time, some experimentation, so, you know, to be able to see how the market's going to react to certain things. So people love to complain and hate on it, but like they've only made good decisions, in my opinion, really in 23, 24.
Yeah, it's just that consistency. Yeah. This series, just the cadence of the drops and we just felt like it flows well with the season. I'm able to really make good decisions about what I want throughout the season, right? As far as what I'm collecting. I'm not a fast break person, but people love it. I think it's great. I'm glad it's here. But you think about way back, all the conversations that we've heard or seen on Twitter, like Pack's always available. Well, all right, we got that now, right? Pack Marketplace. We got an app. We got a game. We've got consistency. I mean, as far as the collector side, like what else is out there except for they're building this platform for future collectors to come in. I think it's little by little. I'm not trying to retire off this stuff. I'm building a collection that I'm proud of and that I enjoy.
This is not financial advice.
This is lifestyle advice. This is lifestyle advice.
Dude, you nailed it, though. Like, even mint counts, like 60,000 mint counts. That's not here anymore. Like, like they're making baby steps. One of my favorite movies of all time, and I don't know if y'all have all seen it. It's called What About Bob?
Love
it. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But the whole premise of the movie is a book, and it's about baby steps. Baby step your way to the counter. Baby step your way off the bus. Baby step your way to making this the best platform in all of NBA and NFT history. If that's what it takes, I'm not here to be a millionaire. If I was, I would already be gone. Like, to me, this is about passion. It's about collecting. Is there the possibility to still make money? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah. But it just allows you to be a little smarter with, like, even redemptions. The playoffs. That's transformed from having 150 playoff moments 2 or 3 seasons or rounds ago to now having the redemptions to be able to trade in and elevate your collection. I don't know if y'all are into redemptions or if y'all even follow, the Jazz or Minnesota or the Mavericks, but there's redemption moments. It's pretty cool. Have y'all heard of redemptions?
And on that topic, I like the redemptions because based on what kind of collector you are, right? I'm going to do the fandom common.
Nice.
Redemptions. I don't want to spend that. Even though I think it's going to be fun to have. It'd be great to have that rare collection, and maybe someday I will. But I get to participate at a level that makes sense for me financially and have fun with it. So that's a whole other thing I appreciate that they've done. You can enter in this thing for very little money, or you can really throw a lot of money at it if you want to, but you still can participate and enjoy the platform, which is so cool.
What about you other guys? Are y'all doing any redemption stuff? Are you got some Wolves redemptions down there, Delarosby?
Yeah, so I one of the recent legendary packs or whatever I entered, and I was able to get a couple of those. So I sold one of those, and that was going to be my playoff. That's what I was going to do my redemptions kind of with. Nice. So I kind of went in heavy on the redemptions. I went Celtics, and then didn't pay any mind to anybody else on the East. I
call that a smart decision.
Smart.
Yeah,
Smart.
and then I went heavy with Wolves Nuggets.
Nice.
With that, so that's it was kind of hedging with the Wolves and Nuggets. It's either way.
Well, hey, you're 50% correct right now. So I'm just saying, so far you got one team still going for it.
Yeah. So just been enjoying that. It adds that a little bit of gamification to it as well.
Yeah.
It's like keeping track of the mint counts for how many have been traded in. So you end up with 3 Jamal Murray rares because he gets bounced or whatever. But so be it. Lock one, sell one, and keep one handy. But it's been a lot of fun.
That's great.
That's good.
Did you play basketball? Sorry, I like random questions. Did you grow up in Minnesota? Question 1.
Yep.
Okay, so that being said, were you a hockey guy or have you been a basketball guy since you were a kid, or both?
I was a both kid, and then
Nice.
And then about 8th grade when you start. I'm from a small town, only 3,000 people up on the North Shore, Lake Superior.
Nice.
And small schools up there. One of those high schools where everybody in the building.
Yep. You can only date 1 or 2 girls, and that's it. So it was small town. So you got that was the joy of growing up. Kind of when I did is you could participate in anything you wanted to participate in. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Now I live down in the Twin Cities area, and my daughter's a sophomore. Sophomore in high school, and she has more kids going out for her volleyball and basketball team just to try out for the team than was in my whole school, so
it's a crazy world. And holy geez, you got a kid already there. I would have had you back to like 24, 25.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
In the weight room every day, just
jumping back in.
I was able to legally drink before I had my first cell phone, so
wow. Dude, you got a sophomore in high school, dude. I mean, were you 12? You started
You
early.
do not have a sophomore.
Yeah.
That's what he just told us. I was like, what? You look like you're a young Arnold right now.
No,
get out of here.
I'm
crazy.
Yeah.
You're old enough to have
I
a
grew up
sophomore.
half analog, half digital. That's why I couldn't figure out how to turn on my microphone on the laptop. I need to call IT.
Baby, we made it work.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
Switch the phone.
That's right.
So, Treat, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
And by this time, we'll probably know by the time these people, everyone's listening, but who do you want to see the Celtics face in the finals?
Ooh. He was hoping we wouldn't ask that.
I would love. I think I'd like to see this Kyrie return to Boston thing. I'm honestly more scared of the Timberwolves just because I think Anthony Edwards is that special and that driven. And just no offense, Kyrie and Luka I think are going to be defensive. Going to be liability for the Mavs against the Celtics. You're going to have to guard 1 through 5, and I think the Timberwolves have a better chance of doing that. I think obviously Luka and Kyrie are amazing offensive players.
That's okay. We got them old legs though. The Minnesota young legs, they got a lot more in them.
Yeah, they're gonna struggle. I think the Mavericks guarding the Celtics with Kyrie and Luka on the floor. I think we'll pick them. But
the Celtics have a lot more dudes.
Yeah,
that can score. That can score.
They do.
Yeah,
but just to be fair, they've also had a lot of good dudes the last couple of years, and it didn't work out so well for them. So anything can happen. Anything can happen.
This is true.
Possibility.
This is very true. But
all right, so you're pushing your bifocals up there. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Listen, I mean, it's great to have your team make it. I want to win it all, but it's just been a great run as a Celtic fan. Go deep in the playoffs every year. right? I mean, it's just really nice. It's nice to have that. I'm used to going deep, but that's
it's so. Anyway, change the subject. The interesting thing is the Celtics have been going deep for quite a while. The Mavs always get in just the tip and then kind of fall out. And then Minnesota, y'all been missing out. Y'all been waiting to get in there for a while, and now that y'all are going deep and taking it to it. Like y'all are you're going for the win. So all three of our teams, we're all doing stuff that we haven't typically done before, other than the Celtics. So
and the Jazz, all those Mormons, they're just hitting everything.
Hey man,
the Jazz are waiting until marriage.
And then they pop out 45 champions.
And whenever they do that, they're going to be.
They make their own basketball team.
They're going to marry them all.
Oh man,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Guys, it's been so great having all of you freaking on here. I love talking playoff basketball, much less conference finals basketball,
Beautiful,
gentlemen.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And the good news is 2 out of the 3 teams. Sorry, I'm not going to leave you out, Coultin. 2 out of the 4 teams on this cast right now, on this episode, will be one of your NBA champions. That's pretty crazy. One out of the 4 of us are going to have an NBA champion as their team favorite this year.
Number 18. Number 18 for the Celtics. I'm calling it.
That's okay. 1-800-Ghostbusters. I can call a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
One before I die.
There we go.
That's right. Hey, all I'm saying is let's have the Mavs this year. Minnesota's young. You got a lot of years left with Anthony Edwards, you know.
Mavs have had one. Mavs have got one recently.
Stop talking, Jazz. I'm kidding.
Good times.
Please, if y'all are out there listening, watching, check us out. YouTube, Duck Quack, X, all the things. Twitter,
Collectin and
Snapchat, Collectin and Connectin.
Get your Jazz. Get your Jazz merch.
Get some Minnesota Wolfden merch. Get some Jazz merch. Get some Mavs Rip merch. Get some C&C merch.
Yep.
Check us out. Comment on the show. Let us know what you like. Whose beard looks best. Whose team's gonna win. We'd love to hear from you.
Yep.
For sure. Treat, any last things to say?
Oh, great time, guys. Could have just visited for hours, but 3-ball kicked his foot up our ass if we don't.
He's got one of those electrical buttons, and then he just randomly shocks Treat from Texas, saying like, "It's time. Stop talking." That's why he keeps switching. So do I. I'm like, Coultin, what about you, bud? Any last minute words? Anything you want to say to the world out there, other than you're wearing a purple shirt?
No, sir. Stack them rooks.
Sure.
Stack them rooks.
Stack them rooks. He called me sir in case you're not watching because of all the gray hair I have. Minnesota's Wolfden captain, sir. Thank you for being on here. We're going to end with you. What do you want to tell the world, the Wolfden community? What do you want to say before we get out of here and go watch some tape?
He's saying
possibly the best thing ever. Because we cannot hear you.
We can't hear you.
And I asked such a loaded question. And it's like now it's like the Timberwolves in game 1 through 3.
I love this.
Nothing.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
You can sign to me, I will dictate what you're saying. He's saying he loves the Wolfden community. He loves collecting, connecting, and Top Shot. The Timberwolves will win the NBA championship in 2026. And oh man, I hate technical difficulties right here at the end. Congrats on episode 50. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, and it all started with a man in a pitchfork singing, you know? And
good times.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. Good
guys.
times, guys. Thanks for everybody.
Thank you.
Peace out.